conducted here in summer ball in Corvallis. He has a nice take on what baseball in the summer is like here as a member of the Corvallis Knights. Let's meet Matt Ager next on 1240 Joe Radio.
Dave's Performance Hybrids is the Willamette Valley's Prius experts and your Toyota dealer alternative. Dave's is now offering hybrid battery warranty extension for every Prius. If your Prius has an original battery or was replaced somewhere else and has expired, invest in Dave's hybrid battery warranty extension before it fails and save 50% off the price of a 1 to 5 year warranty, including testing. Need an oil change? Get $20 off at davesperformancehybrids.com. It's time for the pitchers to throw strikes and for the batters to deliver another West Coast League championship. Just like a new season is an opportunity, so is getting recertified in first aid and CPR. It's an opportunity to practice your skills so you can be ready to help in an emergency. If it's that time for CPR works at 541-760-7632 to schedule your next class. And go Knights!
Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, people in the Mid-Valley have been going to Corvallis Floor Covering. They thank their many friends and customers for your continued support and look forward to working with you on your next remodeling project. Browse through their large showroom with a beautiful selection of carpet, countertops, sheet vinyl, linoleum, tile, hard surface floors, and window coverings from all the popular brands. Corvallis Floor Covering, corner of 2nd and Van Buren downtown, or log on to CorvallisFloorCovering.com. Shop local. Shop Corvallis Floor Covering.
Looking for someone to service your Volkswagen? Independent Auto Works has been taking care of Volkswagen since 1970, and their group of mechanics has over 80 years of combined experience working on Volkswagens. And if you need just a part, whether you're they're on 13th Street near the OSU campus in Corvallis. Independent Auto Works, the guys you can trust.
Your satisfaction is our success. Independent Auto Works.
1240. Back at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, a gorgeous evening for baseball, the first of a 3-game series, the Knights and Cowlitz, and it's a pleasure to finally meet and visit with a young man who I've enjoyed, so have Knights fans this summer, watch pitch, Matt Ager out of University of California, Santa Barbara, Pleasanton, California, Northern Cal, and a guy listed in our program at 6'2", the official Knights roster. But, Matt, let's clear that up right now.
Yeah.
It ain't 6'2".
It's not. It's 6'5". I don't know. Maybe someone misread the 5, but it's 6'5".
Okay. So, that being said, not that you were always 6'5". Some hoop growing up? Has it always been baseball or what?
No, yeah, I was terrible at basketball growing up. I was like a rebounder, defender. I just couldn't make a shot. So, obviously, couldn't do it. But, yeah, it was pretty much just those two.
Matt Ager joining me. Matt, when did you really get on a really serious track?
Yeah. I guess so. I've always just loved playing the sport, obviously, but I kind of started taking it seriously during COVID. I was topping out at 89, and my arm hurting and killing me. I wasn't lifting or anything, and then COVID happened, and I started a pitching coach, Nick Sanziri. Probably some people probably seen eating right, stretching, learning about mechanics, and then from there it kind of took off, and I've just been sticking with it since. Yeah.
Were you getting taller and kind of beginning to get stronger at about that same time? So the physical maturation as well as kind of learning how to pitch, was that all happening about the same time?
Yeah. It was definitely just skinny, lanky, out of control, not connected, and then started lifting and just moving better, being more connected, and stuff started falling in place.
In that respect, Matt, I hear great things about what Coach Yoon does here with respect to all of that you just touched on. Has that been your experience?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I love being here with Coach Yoon. It's just it's a blessing to be just for the 2 short months I'm with him, but it's still, my arm feels great, body feels great, running a lot and taking care of my shoulder and arm. He always talks about your body's the gun, arm's the bullet.
It's a good saying.
Yeah.
Has, in that sense then too, the physical regimen, the things he has you do, all of those routines, are they similar to what you do for Coach Checkitz at UCSB? Are they unique? And if so, what are some of the differences?
Very unique. Uni has very unique workouts for us, but I would say at school it's a lot more personal. Uni has it very personalized, but at school it's less toned down, more focused on like performance than like conditioning and wearing your body down. But uni has definitely more mechanic and like backside extension stuff like thrown into the conditioning than we do at school. Yeah.
That being said, it's probably good to round out your experience to find out different ways of going about your conditioning, your stretching, throwing, mechanics, and all of that. But you do pitch for and play for a great man and a great coach in Andrew Checketts, and we know him well from his Oregon State days. Tell me a little bit about Coach Checketts.
I mean, he's probably easily the best I've ever had. It's just very, very business, very serious, but at the same time, like, very development based. We talk a lot about just the process and doing the process right. And I feel very, very blessed to be at obviously a school that's so beautiful and a good baseball team with a good baseball coach. It's pretty awesome.
In your role this past spring, I mean, you got into a lot of games. You saved 5. I don't think you started any, if I read the stats properly. What was your role like, and how do you kind of see it evolving next spring, perhaps?
So it started. I just struggled a lot in the fall. You know, first college like experience. I was just throwing as hard as I could. Throwing upper eights with a flat fastball and a slow curveball, which didn't work. So I developed a slider when I went home from winter break and came back throwing harder with a good slider and worked myself into some games and did well and kind of earned like a stopper role. I was like the second guy out of the pen, right behind Michael Rice. He's a dog as well. And then hopefully with the development of my changeup here at Corvallis, it's been getting better. Last game I felt very comfortable with it, so hopefully that continues and then try to work myself into a starter spot. But yeah, anything to help Santa Barbara.
It's a great program with a tremendous coach. Matt, the last thing, you touched on it a little bit, what your goals have been, this summer in terms of pitch development. You've hit on them a little bit. What has been? It looked like against Portland you were in a good mode, in a good groove in your last start. How do you feel about how things have developed this summer from a stuff standpoint?
I feel great about it. Early on, I was just struggling, because that's how you work on stuff. It doesn't work out, and you have to kind of just stuff doesn't go your way because you're not. I've gotten a little more comfortable starting. I haven't started in like a year, so that's a big thing. All my pitches feel good. Stuff with uni, my arm feels good. I feel like my arm's healthier than it's been, even though I'm throwing more. Yeah. And then obviously the development of my changeup has been huge, so hopefully keep that going, keep getting comfortable with it.
And the last thing then, you've touched on a little bit with Coach Yoon, but what is the overall experience here as a Knight for a summer league team? What's it been like for you?
I think the best way I could put it is that it's baseball in the summer, not summer ball. Just I was very surprised by the seriousness and how close it was related to school, and which I love. I don't really want to go play baseball that doesn't matter and no one really cares about, and just it's fun being here. Yeah.
It's great to have you here, Matt. I've enjoyed watching you pitch. I'm glad to clarify the height thing at the beginning, 6'5", 215, Matt Ager. Thanks for the time, Matt. I hope you have a great rest of the summer. I appreciate it.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Matt Ager, my guest. We will be back with the first pitch. The Knights and Cowlitz opening up a 3-game series right here at beautiful Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on 1240 Joe Radio.
For Auto Glass Solutions,
you can go the full 2 here, full 2.
Call 541-760-2277. Call the Glass Man.
Need your auto glass repaired or replaced? Need to recalibrate your advanced car safety system? Don't call that 800 number. Call the Glass Man.
For Auto Glass Solutions, better call the Glass Man. Call 541-760-2277. Call the Glass Man. We set 'em up, you knock 'em down. Island Bowl, family entertainment for young and old. Clean and friendly, that's Highland Bowl. Bring your party, let the good times roll. Great food, good fun, that's Highland Bowl. We set 'em up, you knock 'em down. Island Bowl.
North 9th Street, Corvallis.
A drip, drip down the drain, or a leak you can't explain.
Whether it's residential or commercial service, Albin's Plumbing has been serving the local area with quality products and craftsmanship for over 40 years. At Albin's Plumbing, experience plus times teamwork equals exceptional customer service.
At Albin's Plumbing, plumbing that's all we do. Call 754-8282, Albert's Plumbing.
Do you ever experience headaches? Or how about back pain? Here at Horesco Chiropractic, we truly believe that everybody deserves to live a life without pain.
How about my glass of
Our
water?
doctors
I
will get
give
to the
up.
root
How
of your
about your
condition
glass
and
of
create
water?
a custom treatment plan to help you
what do
get
we
back
got
to
here?
living the best version of your life. Our patients often say how amazed they feel to live a life with less pain after they have experienced how effective chiropractic care is. Start on the journey of improved health by giving us a call today or visiting our website at horesco.com. Horesco Chiropractic in Corvallis. We really can make a world of difference for you.
1240 Joe Radio.
Back at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, time for the starting lineups for Game 1 of this three-game series on a beautiful evening for baseball, the Corvallis Knights and Cowlitz Black Bears. Cowlitz managed by former big leaguer, and boy was he ever a big leaguer, 16 years in the big leagues for 10 different teams, Alan Embry. Leading off for Coach Embry in right field, Austin Smith. Batting second, the DH, Kalen Halverson. Sam Canton batting third in left field. Aaron Parker, the cleanup hitter and catching. Blake Bozette batting fifth at shortstop. John Olson hitting sixth at first base. Nick Hovland batting seventh at third. Seth Sweetchick batting eighth at second base. Ben Ziegler batting ninth in center. Cade McGee on the mound. For the Knights, right-hander Ian Lawson delivers to Austin Smith, who fouls the first pitch back, and so we are underway. The 0-1 pitch from the big righty from Hillsboro, and Oregon State misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Comes back with a change, low. And Ian behind the count. 2 balls and a strike to Austin Smith. Leading things off for the Cowlitz Black Bears. Having a good summer. .325 with 11 runs batted in. The left-hand hitter awaits Ian's 2-1 pitch and goes after the fastball. Hits it foul to the left and out of play. In fact, into the Jack Riley concourse, where people are still finding their way to their seats on this gorgeous night for baseball. A good crowd coming in. And a lot of folks down the first base side tonight, taking advantage of some of the shade and what's been a mid-upper 80s degree day here in the Mid-Valley. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Austin Smith, leading things off. Lawson to the plate, a ground ball to third, right at the perfectly positioned Tyler Quinn. Tyler throws across to Tanner Smith. Welcome Tanner back to the Corvallis Knights. He was a key contributor to the 2021 West Coast League Championship. Then had a good spring in his true freshman campaign for Mitch Canham and the Beavers. Tanner shutting it down after some wear and tear and fatigue and all of that during the spring season. Tanner Smith just now getting his summer league season going on this, the 19th of July, and he starts tonight for the Knights and plays first base. Kalen Halverson, the designated hitter, the batter. Ian Lawson delivers a fastball down and away. Let's take a look at the Knights defensively. We've met the corner infielders. Tyler Quinn at third with Tanner Smith at first. Lawson back to the plate, and Ian misses again. Ball 2, 2-0 to Halverson. Mason Lee at second, Xander Darby at short, with Briley Knight in left, Jonah Advincula in center, Brady Lavoie in right. Tanner Smith comes over as far as he can, and this one lands 1 row deep behind the netting. Jutting out from the dugout. Two and 2 strike. Bobby Corrigan and Shane McCarroll, the assistant coaches for head coach Alan Embry. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kalen Halverson. Ian Lawson back to the plate with a 2-2 breaking ball away. The count goes full to Kalen. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Halverson at .288. 4 homers on the summer and a whopping 33 runs batted in. 3-2 the count. Lawson to the plate. Pop foul, and this heads into the upper grandstand on the right side. Lands in the metal bleachers, bounces back about 4 rows. And that upper grandstand pretty well occupied this evening. Part of the good crowd tonight, one of the better ones. Great to have you with us. A 3-2 fastball just inside to Kalen Halverson, ball 4. Kalen started to pull the trigger on it, then backed off and took it just inside to draw the one-out walk. Sam Canton will come to the plate for Cowlitz. Sam Canton starts the evening in series at .240, a couple of homers and 11 runs batted in. Lawson comes set. Halverson will run. He's 6 for 7 in stolen bases. The first pitch to the left-hand hitting Canton, hit foul to the left and out of play. No balls and 1 strike. Sam Canton, a competitor at Gonzaga out of South Kitsap High School, played in 9 games for the Zags this past spring, was 4 for 12 with 3 runs batted in. The strike 1 pitch just misses. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sam Canton with Aaron Parker on deck. Kalen Halverson held on at first by Tanner Smith. 1-1 to Sam Canton as we get underway on a warm summer night here in the Mid-Valley. Fastball from Ian, misses inside, ball 2. 2-1. Ian Lawson making his 5th appearance and 3rd start this summer for the Knights. 7 2/3 innings of work thus far. 5 hits, 5 runs, only 1 earned. 6 walks and 7 strikeouts, but he misses low, and the number that jumps out in all of that's a small sample size, but as he goes to 3-1 here, Ian Lawson with 6 walks and 7 2/3 has issued a walk with 1 out, is behind 3-1 to Sam Canton. Sam swings, hits a 2-hopper towards Mason Lee, goes to Xander Darby for 1, back to first, not in time. The ball not hit sharply enough for the Knights to get 2, but Mason Lee does cut down the lead runner on the fielder's choice 4-6. 2 away, and Aaron Parker, the batter. Sam Canton has stolen 9 bases on the summer. He's 9 for 12. And that leads this Cowlitz Black Bear club. Cowlitz 4-5 in the second half, 16-19 overall. Lawson's first pitch misses low, ball 1. To the right-hand hitting Aaron Parker, a teammate of our pregame show guest this evening, Matt Ager at UCSB. Aaron and Matt were visiting in front of the Knights dugout before the ball game. The 1-0 pitch on the way, a strike, and the count 1-1. Parker, while playing sparingly for UCSB this past spring, is having a summer that will certainly grab Coach Checkett's and others' attention. 327, 4 homers, 14 runs batted in. No score, top of the first. The 1-1 pitch, fastball swung out and missed. And Ian Lawson jumps ahead now to Aaron Parker at 1-2 with Blake Bozette on deck. It's interesting in talking about Ian in the summer of 2022, and it makes me think a little bit of the late, great Tommy Lasorda, because both Brooke Knight and Mitch Canham and Rich Dorman have talked about Ian Lawson. Breaking ball tapped up along third. It's a fair ball fielded near the bag by Tyler Quinn. A 1-hopper to first, picked by Tanner Smith just in time for the out to retire the side. Good play on both ends. Quinn on the field and Tanner Smith on the stretch. And the idea that Rich and Mitch and Brooke have talked about with Ian Lawson is he just looking for a little bit more kind of bulldog and fiery competitive spirit. And the late, great Tommy Lasorda nicknamed the mild-mannered Bert Hooten Happy because he was always glum. And he nicknamed Oral Hershiser Bulldog when Oral didn't seem to have a lot of bulldog in him. So maybe we should start calling him Bulldog Lawson. At the end of half an inning, Cowlitz nothing. The Knights coming up on 1240 Joe Radio.
This is Mike Parker for
90 here,
Evenflow
90
Plumbing,
here.
your trusted award-winning plumber for the Mid-Valley. Evenflow specializes in complete plumbing and drain cleaning solutions for residential and commercial jobs. They treat your home like it's their home, and their flat rate pricing means no surprises at the end of the job. Evenflow takes pride in doing the job right the first time. Just call 541-738-8853 for all your plumbing needs. When you need a pro, go with the flow. Evenflow Plumbing.
I was there in the living room reading a book when I heard a terrible sound.
When are you going to start planting those trees and getting the backyard ready for our daughter's wedding?
I'll do it, but not today.
I know you don't want me to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. I know the guys at Philomath Rental, they'll show me what to do. And since they're open 7 days a week, I can go out there today.
Uh-oh. Darn you, Philomath Rental.
Philomath Rental, next to Landmark Realty, 1.5 miles west of the Sunset Shopping Center. For tools and equipment for home, farm, and business, check out Philomath Rental.
Downward Dog across the OSU campus is serving up cold drinks and tasty food on their sunny patio. Burgers like the Hangover Helper or Double Trouble. If you prefer, substitute a house-made veggie patty. Enjoy appetizers, wraps, salads, and sandwiches. And breakfast is served until 2. The food at Downward Dog is made fresh from scratch and locally sourced whenever possible. And they specialize in mouth-watering handcrafted cocktails and thirst-quenching local microbrews. So stop by the Downward Dog today. Open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. on 23rd and Monroe across from the OSU campus.
1240 Joe Radio.
Bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at the Knights starting lineup. Leading off in center field, Jonah Advincula. Mason Lee batting second at second base. Briley Knight hitting third and left. Tanner Smith, the cleanup hitter at first base. Xander Darby batting fifth at shortstop. Ryan Stafford hitting sixth and catching. Brady Lavoie batting seventh in right field. Timo Becerra hitting eighth, the DH. Tyler Quinn batting ninth at third. Jonah takes outside from right-hander Cade McGee, a two-way player. Cade comes back and misses again with a fastball, ball 2. 2-0 to Jonah Advincula, leading things off for the Knights in Game 1 of this 3-game series. The Knights' leading hitter at .342. Their leading base stealer with 14. He has 11 runs batted in. He takes a strike. The count 2-1 to the left-handed hitter. Mason Lee on deck. Cade McGee and Aaron Parker collaborate, and the 2-1 pitch produces a ground ball to second. Seth Sweetchick takes it off the field turf and throws out Advincula. One away in the bottom of the first inning. Mason Lee coming to the plate. Mason at .281 with a homer and 18 runs batted in. He has stolen bases on the summer. Just to give you a sense of the disparity between the two clubs here tonight and what the running game and how they deploy it, what it means to Brook and the Knights. The pitch to Lee, high and inside from Cade McGee, ball 1. The Knights with 102 stolen bases. Cowlitz with 39. The 1-0 pitch, missing high and inside, ball 2, 2-0. They're still coming in tonight. Just a perfect night for baseball. And a lot of folks coming to watch the Knights in Cowlitz under the sun on this 19th of July. The 2-0 pitch, a two-hopper to shortstop Blake Bozette, and he throws wide of John Olson at first. And Mason Lee is aboard. It will be a throwing error on Blake Bozette. And Briley Knight will come to the plate. Briley, the left-handed hitter, has been starting to get into a groove. He's hitting .261. Briley with a homer and 6 runs batted in. He had 4 of those 6 RBIs in the Knights' outstanding victory against Wenatchee to win the series in 12 innings this past Sunday. He swings at this one and strokes it to center, but Ben Ziegler is right there to make the catch. Good swing, but an out on the first pitch that Briley sees in the bottom of the first. And that'll bring to the plate Tanner Smith. It is so nice to see Tanner again. He was such a big part of the Knights winning the 2021 West Coast League Championship. Went on to have a productive spring for Coach Canham and the Beavers. And after just kind of letting the aches and pains and all of that heal, he's come back rejuvenated. There goes Mason Lee. The throw down to the second baseman. Ball dropped by Seth Sweetchick and in safely with the stolen base is Mason Lee, his 15th of the summer. Good throw by Aaron Parker. Quick transfer and a good throw. But the ball popping in and out of the mid of Seth Sweetchick. And so the Knights with a stolen base, and that's a contribution by Papay Material Handling, another $10 to Community Outreach, Inc., thanks to Papay Material Handling. Breaking ball on the strike one pitch to Tanner, misses. The count 1-1. No score, bottom of the first inning. The Knights trying to change that here early as the breezes pick up a little bit. They are blowing as they normally do out to left center. Tanner looks at a fastball for a strike, and the count 1-2. Cade McGee and Aaron Parker, the battery for the Cowlitz Black Bears. John Olson at first, Seth Sweetchick at second, Blake Bozette at short, Nick Hovland at third, Sam Canton in left, Ben Ziegler in center, Austin Smith in right. The 1-2 pitch is down and away to even matters to Tanner. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 down. Xander Darby on deck. The Knights getting some reinforcements in each of the last 2 days in their catching front. Ryan Stafford yesterday, Tanner Smith playing first base, nevertheless will be available to help receive down the stretch of the season. He swings at a breaking ball and misses for strike 3, and both pitchers put up zeros in the first inning. No runs, no hits, an error, 1 left. After 1, Cowlitz nothing, the Knights nothing on 1240 Joe Radio.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor as your life and financial situation change? Hi, I'm former Oregon State athlete Tim Ewis, your Corvallis Edward Jones financial advisor. When we work together, we'll focus on what's important to you. We'll use an established process to create a personalized financial strategy backed by the advice, tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we'll partner to help your strategy stay on track. Contact me today, 541-758-8245. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Planning an Oregon staycation this year? You'll find a great selection of warm weather shirts, sandals, hats, even summer suits and sport coats for those special events. We have it all at the Natty Dresser, from hats to shoes and everything in between. You'll find everything the well-dressed man needs by brands you trust. Our services include suit rentals, alterations, and custom made-to-measure shirts. The Natty Dresser, purveyors of quality menswear, now open Monday through Saturday in the heart of historic downtown Albany. Dress well, be confident, find success.
The versatile Kubota B-Series is a do-it-all tractor, part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. You can run powerful attachments that can be easily switched out. The Kubota B-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your local Kubota dealer is Lynn Benton Tractor on Highway 99E in Tangent. See it at lynnbentontractor.com.
1240 Joe Radio.
No score to the top of the second inning. Ian Lawson goes to work on Blake Bozette and starts him with a first pitch strike. The 0-1 offering from Ian misses low. 1-1 to Blake. Leading things off for the Cowlitz Black Bears in the second. The 1-1 pitch from Ian swung on and missed. 1-2 the count. Brock Bozette, I think I said Blake. He had a brother, Brock. My apologies. Brock Bozette had brothers Bo and Blake both play ahead of him at Gonzaga, where Brock is playing now out of Ferris High School and transferring in from Spokane Falls Community College. He swings at the 0-2 pitch, taps it slowly up along third. Foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brock Bozette. Brock did not play this past spring for Coach Machtolf at Gonzaga, but looking forward to a more significant role next year. Bozette hitting .282 this summer, 3 homers, 14 runs batted in. John Olson on deck, Nick Hovland to follow. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball stays up from Ian Lawson. 2-2 the count. Bulldog Lawson. I don't know if it'll stick or whether the methodology, the psych game that Tommy played with Oral and Happy Hooten works, but both were pretty good pitchers. Nice pitch by Bulldog Lawson here, producing a ground ball to second. Mason Lee scoops it off the turf and throws out Bozette. 1 away, very good pitch, riding in on Bozette. That'll bring to the plate John Olson. Olson, the right-hand hitting first baseman. What a way to begin his career as a Cowlitz Black Bear. The opening weekend of the 2022 West Coast League season. This young man went 11 for 12 at Springfield. He hits a two-hopper to the night shortstop, Xander Darby, who picks it up cleanly and throws across to get John on one pitch. Olson out of Beaverton High School and playing now at Western Oregon University after beginning his career at Ventura College. Olson, 11 for 12 in the opening weekend, has come down a little bit, as Stephen Kwan did too. I mean, hard to live in that rarefied air, but he's had a good summer at 316. The batter is Nick Hovland, a one-hopper to the night. Second baseman Mason Lee, who picks it up and flips to first, and that's an impressive 1-2-3 inning. The last two outs coming on successive pitches. Olson and Hovland retired. Cowlitz goes in order, and after 1.5, it's Cowlitz nothing, the Knights nothing, with Coach Jonas Chatterton arriving with his family tonight, heading up the stairs and looking for their seats. Good to see Jonas and family here. Great to have you all with us on 1240 Joe Radio.
Hey, veterans, Mid-Willamette Family VetNet and the Corvallis Elks invite you to a Lynn Benton Veterans Stand Down Thursday, July 21st from 10 until 2 at the Corvallis Elks Lodge. It's a resource fair aimed at providing services and supplies to veterans and their families. Learn about disability and Social Security benefits, employment services, housing and utility assistance, medical and dental resources, and more. Food and drinks will be served at the Lynn Benton Veterans Stand Down Thursday, July 21st from 10 until 2 at the Corvallis Elks Lodge, 1400 North 9th Street.
Taste the incredible flavors of India at Evergreen Indian Restaurant. Enjoy delicious made-to-order Indian cuisine using traditional recipes and fresh ingredients, including a variety of entrees and tandoori specials. Evergreen Indian Restaurant is open for takeout orders from 11:30 to 2:30 p.m. and open for dine-in and takeout from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. daily except Tuesdays. View the menu and order online at evergreenindianrestaurant.com on Southwest 3rd in downtown Corvallis and West 7th in Eugene. Evergreen Indian Restaurant. Dave's Performance Hybrids is the Willamette Valley's Prius experts and your Toyota dealer alternative. Dave's is now offering hybrid battery warranty extension for every Prius. If your Prius has an original battery or was replaced somewhere else and has expired, invest in Dave's hybrid battery warranty extension before it fails and save 50% off the price of a 1 to 5 year warranty, including testing. Need an oil change? Get $20 off your next oil service at Dave's Performance Hybrids. Off I-5 and Highway 20 in Albany. Online at davesperformancehybrids.com.
1240 Joe Radio.
Relax, Paul will help you get through this. The first pitch as we go to the bottom of the second, a changeup swung on and missed by Xander Darby. The right-hander Cade McGee back to Xander, who takes low, ball 1-1. No score, bottom of the second. Xander Darby, Ryan Stafford, Brady Lavoie. McGee's fastball foul back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cade McGee getting the start in game 1. A young man out of J. John Country, South Point Catholic in Tucson. The strike 2 pitch taken in the turf. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Xander. Darby's had a tremendous summer. 274, 4 homers, 15 runs batted in. McGee delivers. Darby swings and hits it high in the air, foul, off to the left and out of play. Landing on top of the McGrath family press box to our left. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Xander Darby in this scoreless affair in the bottom of the second. McGee rocks, kicks, and comes back, and the slider misses a little high and inside to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Coach Chatterton has come to the Knights game tonight with the Oregon State offensive coordinator in football, one Brian Lindgren. The 2-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. So Coach's night out here, evidently. They work so hard and relentlessly that it's nice to see coaches Jonas Chatterton with the women's basketball program and Brian Lindgren, Jonathan Smith's coordinator, quarterbacks coach, here on a beautiful summer night watching Knights baseball. Darby strikes out. Ryan Stafford, the batter. Cade McGee to the plate, and the breaking ball hits Ryan. Stafford made a big splash in his Knights debut yesterday in Portland, going 3 for 4 and scoring 2 runs. And he's nicked by the breaking ball from Cade McGee. And Brady Lavoie comes to the plate. Cade out of South Point Catholic. And at Gonzaga this past spring, had a very good year. The pitch on the way, taken high, ball 1, 1-0. McGee, as a two-way player for the Cowlitz Black Bears, hitting just 143. No homers and 5 runs batted in. And as a pitcher, McGee making his 4th start, he's worked 10 innings. The 1-0 pitch, a strike, a throw down to first on the back pick from Aaron Parker. Ryan Stafford gets back. No score, bottom of the 2nd inning. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brady Lavoie. Out of the stretch works McGee, delivers, and the high fastball swung on and fouled back. 1-2 the count. Cade in 10 innings has allowed 11 hits, walked 7, struck out 7, 0-2 with an earned run average of 4.50 coming in. With 1 out, he hits Ryan Stafford. He's ahead of Brady Lavoie, 1 ball and 2 strikes, a throw over to first, and Ryan back to the bag. Stafford had a big spring at Cal Poly and was 3 for 4 in stolen bases, led the Mustangs in sac flies. Amongst his other attributes, he hit .321, 3 homers, 33 runs batted in. 2 brothers Ryan has, Craig and Evan, and his parents are both Cal graduates, UC Berkeley grads. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brady Lavoie. Stafford gets the lead, and Lavoie whacks it into left field for a base hit. Stafford takes a turn and will hold. Sam Canton gets the ball back in. Good swing for Lavoie. Nice and easy through the 6-hole. Stafford stops at second. Lavoie getting the Knights' first base hit. And Timo Becerra, the designated hitter, will come to the plate with 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 2nd inning. The Knights in Cowlitz for 3. Friday, the Portland Pickles in town, and it's cap giveaway. The latest edition of the Corvallis cap will be given away to the first 250 fans, so get out here early. Cade McGee uncorks a wild pitch. Aaron Parker chases it down at the backstop. Ryan Stafford into third. Brady Lavoie cruising into second. And now Timo Becerra trying to get the Knights on the scoreboard. Timo hitting .205, a couple of homers, 14 runs batted in, has 1 sacrifice fly. He backs away from the 1-0 pitch, which misses inside from Cade. Ball 2, 2-0. Brook Knight in his usual post down at third. Ed Naggs, the associate head coach, at first. McGee to the plate, and the 2-0 fastball a little low. Ball 3, 3-0. McGee is a pitch away from loading the bases. He does have a base open. Tyler Quinn on deck. McGee choosing to work from the windup with runners at second and third and 1 out. And a green light given to Becerra. He swings and hits 1 foul off the Dixon Recreation facade and down into Urchin Alley. This is one of the more packed upper and lower grandstands on the right side I've seen in any ball game this year. Really a good crowd. 3 balls and 1 strike. Line drive into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Stafford scores. Lavoie, who had to make sure the ball got down, stops at third. The ball is cut off by John Olson, the first baseman, near the mound. The Knights lead it 1-0. Timo Becerra, solid single to center. And Tyler Quinn to the plate with runners at the corners and 1 out. And time called. We'll see a visit not from the head coach, Alan Embry, but from the pitching coach, Alan, who knows a little bit about pitching, but delegates and sends out his assistant, in this case, with the Knights leading 1-0. Alan Embry, it would take maybe the rest of the inning and much of the broadcast, And time fails. The great line from the author unknown, time fails to tell. I think from chapter 11 of that great epistle, but the author unknown. Anyway, time fails to go through all of Alan Embry's attributes. But he is the head coach of Cowlitz, born in the Dowels in 1970. Appeared in 882 Major League games, Alan Embry. So there's a guy in this ballpark tonight who appeared in 882 Major League games. And he is the head coach of the Cowlitz Black Bears, one Alan Embry, in one of the more famous games of all time. He finished. Tyler Quinn, the batter, he shows bunt, misses the bunt attempt, and a throw down to first base, getting back in safely, Timo Becerra. First and third, one out. Tyler Quinn with a count of no balls and a strike. Brook Knight thinking in terms of the safety squeeze stratagem. We'll see now with a count of 0-1 whether Tyler hits away. The infield a double play depth. The runner Becerra goes. The pitch to Quinn, stroke to center and deep. It's playable. Ben Ziegler goes back to make the catch. Tagging up at third base is Brady Lavoie, who cruises home. And the Knights lead it 2-0 on the sacrifice fly by Tyler Quinn. Tyler's 13th run batted in of the summer and second sac fly. Nicely done, good execution. 2-0 Corvallis. The bases now with just one man aboard. It's Becerra, who was going on the pitch. At first base with two down. Jonah Advincula, the batter. Out of the stretch works Cade McGee. And the first pitch to Jonah with a late break and an easy steal of second base for Timo Becerra. Another $10 contribution from Pape Material Handling to Community Outreach, Inc. So a good night in that respect already for Community Outreach. For Timo Becerra, his third steal of the summer. He's in scoring position for Jonah Advincula. The 1-0 pitch, Jonah swings and fouls it towards the Waldo Way version of Virgin Alley. That evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jonah grounded out to second in the first inning. Now, Embry, 882 appearances, 774 innings pitched with 10 different major league clubs. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, 2 in. The 1-1 pitch is high and away. And the famed game that he appeared in. He pitched in 2 different World Series. Pitched for the Indians in the World Series in '95. And he recorded the final out in Game 7 in 2004. He was the pitcher when the Red Sox ended the curse of the Bambino, got the final out against the Yankees. It was Embry that induced it to set off that unforgettable celebration. The 2-1 pitch to Jonah Advincula, down and in, ball 3. So I would dare say if he appeared in 882 games in the big leagues, it would be tough to top that one. When the Red Sox came back from 3 games to none down to beat the Yanks and go on to end the curse. A pickoff play at second. The throw a little bit wild from McGee. Bozette had to go flag it on the right side of the diamond. If the throw would have been on the bag, Becerra might have been out. As it is, Timo still out there with a count of 3 balls and a strike with 2 outs. The Knights have scored twice, and now Jonah trying to cash in a third run with Timo Becerra at second. The count his way, 3-1. Timo lifts it high in the air to left. Sam Canton with the glasses down, dealing with the sun a bit, but is able to stay with it and make the catch. And the Knights will settle for 2. Jennifer. 2 runs in the inning for the Knights. They get 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of 2, the Knights 2, and the Cowlitz Black Bears nothing on 1240 Joe Radio.
Yes. So my son wonders how he can get on the microphone.
So your son to be one of those junior announcers?
Yeah.
You know, let me We're to talk to Bobby Merwin, our public address announcer, next door, adjacent to yours truly, sitting in the McGrath family press box. So we're back. Here's Seth Sweetchick, and the first pitch just misses. Ball 1-0. I'm not sure where it missed, but the home plate umpire judged that it did. The 1-0 pitch to Seth, away, ball 2-0. Now, I looked up Seth Sweetchick in my research, which wasn't, I could not find everything on all of these young ball players that I would like to have had. The 2-0 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 2-1. That great phrase about time failing as it did 2,000 years ago in an epistle by the great mysterious author. He was right to say that. The 2-1 pitch, a strike. The thief stole it. Ryan Stafford pulling that one back over the plate to even the count at 2-2. But not able to find out everything about Seth Sweet-Chick, who drives one to the gap in right center field. Brady Lavoie, though, a good read, moves over into the alley in right center to make the catch. One away. In a brief visit with Alan Embry before the game, Alan said something to the, and I haven't been able to track this down. Alan got sidetracked. My pregame interview with Matt Ager got underway. I didn't get to complete the conversation with Alan, and I hope to before this series is over. But he said, Seth, he's the son of so-and-so at AAA, and I don't, so I'm trying to figure out. He seemed to think that I should know who Seth Sweet's father is somewhere at AAA, and I did, or a brother at AAA playing ball, something to that effect. The pitch to Ben Ziegler on the 1-0 offering, foul back, and the count 1-1. So that is something that I hope to ascertain what Alan Embry was trying to convey to me about the lineage of Seth Sweetchick, who just made good contact but flied out. The 1-1 pitch to Ben Ziegler out of Wailuku, Hawaii, and getting ready to transfer into, as is Sean Weiss of the Knights, to Hawaii. Had a great year at Yavapai College this past spring at the plate with a count of 2-1. Lawson delivers a ground ball to short from behind the bag. Xander Darby fields and throws to first. There are two down. Ian Lawson, issuing a one-out walk to Kalen Halverson. And that has been the lone base runner for the Cowlitz Black Bears thus far. 7 straight set down by Ian. And Austin Smith, who began the game with a ground ball to third, will step in again for the Cowlitz Black Bears with the Knights leading 2-0. Ian's first pitch missing for ball 1. If you're in the ballpark and listening, the Corvallis Youth Symphony Orchestra, which played our national anthem magnificently before the ball game down on the field. The 1-0 pitch from Ian, a breaking ball strike, and the count 1-1. The nonprofit of the game for the Knights, the Corvallis Youth Symphony, working the stand, selling raffle tickets, 50-50 raffle tickets. Ian's breaking ball misses in the count 2-1 to Austin Smith. We hope that you will find it in your heart and your time and within your means to contribute to that effort tonight. They had about half of their junior honor symphony on the field before the game. Austin Smith swings and whacks a two-hopper into left field. Briley Knight goes down to a knee to grab it. Austin Smith gets the first base hit of the evening for Cowlitz. It's a 2-out single here in the third. Kalen Halverson will be the batter. Austin Smith, by the way, hit his first collegiate home run last summer for the Medford Rogues down the road. His dad, Brian, a former member of the Seattle Mariners organization, drafted in 1995. Competes at the University of San Diego. Had a good spring there, 261, 4 homers, and 31 runs batted in. Austin gets a 2-out single. He's at first base, held on by Tanner Smith. Austin Smith, 4 for 4 in stolen bases. The first pitch to Halverson misses for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch is hit foul over my head and heading towards the entrance of Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The ball lands on a couple of the roofs covering the bicycle racks near the main entrance to Goss, and a souvenir has been collected by one of the urchins. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kalen Halverson. Lawson's hook is in there for a strike, and the count 1-2. Kalen out of Guthrie, Oklahoma, transferring from Northern Oklahoma in Enid. He played 110 games at Northern Oklahoma, hit .352 with 32 homers and 122 RBIs. He's been a productive hitter, taking his talents to Utah Valley University. Looks at a breaking ball, strike 3 called. The inning is over. No runs ahead, a man left. We go to the bottom of the third. The Knights 2 and the Cowlitz Black Bears nothing on 1240 Joe Radio. Fun going on at the ballpark, but this just strikes me as a lot of families, a lot of folks decided this is a great night for baseball, and it is. Mason Lee aboard on an error in the first, takes the 1-0 pitch from Cade McGee for a strike. 1-1 the count. The quick working McGee comes back and misses down and away. 2-1 to Mason, with Briley Knight on deck and Tanner to follow. McGee comes right back with a 2-1 breaking ball. That's up. Ball 3, 3-1. McGee gets the ball back, and he's ready to go, much like Nathan Shin yesterday pitching for the Portland Pickles. The 3-1 pitch hit high in the air to deep left center field, but playable for Ben Ziegler. Ben moves over shy of the warning track in the gap and makes the catch. 1 away, and Briley Knight, first ball swinging in the first inning, flied out to right center, comes to the plate against Cade McGee. Briley feeling better and looking it. He came in coming off of a long layoff from tearing ligaments climbing a fence up at Pilot Stadium on the Bluff on May the 13th. And he's starting to get everything back together. He takes the first pitch just outside from Cade McGee. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike from Cade. 1-1 the count, 1 out, bases empty, 2-0 Knights in the third. For Briley indeed looking hitterish again. He swings here and doesn't get it. The count 1-2. But he's been timing up pitches, making good contact, and had the big home run in Wenatchee to spark the Knights' come from behind victory in the rubber game Sunday in the heart of Central Washington. The 1-2 pitch on the way, good breaking ball, swung on and fouled at the plate, and that got a piece of Aaron Parker, who tries to walk off the pane. The home plate umpire will give him a moment or two, taking a new baseball to Cade McGee. Parker compares notes, meanwhile, with Briley Knight. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. With Tanner Smith on deck, Briley has done a lot of catching, so he knows the territory and certainly can empathize with Parker. The 1-2 pitch taken high, ball 2, 2-2. 2-0 Knights getting 2 runs last inning. McGee again ready to go. The 2-2 pitch, and Briley needing to protect does so. Just gets the barrel out, got a piece of it to foul it off and keep the at-bat alive. Dave Nishida here tonight taking some photographs, one of the long-time outstanding photographers in our area. The 2-2 pitch to Briley, down and away, ball 3, 3-2. But just for posterity's sake, I might take a shot with my own camera tonight. Won't compare to Nisha's work, but the 3-2 breaking ball outside, ball 4. That's a good plate appearance for Briley Knight. Works a 1-2 count to ball 4. And that will bring Tanner Smith to the plate. I mentioned earlier Tanner kind of resting up from the grind and the aches and pains of a long season. Long summer with the Knights, fall ball with the Beavers, spring with Oregon State. Just kind of shut things down for a while. He wasn't injured, but sore. Aches and pains everywhere, but he feels rejuvenated, ready for the stretch run here in the summer of 2022 to try to help lead the Knights to another title. A throw to first, Briley Knight back. 2-0 Knights, bottom of the third. Tanner looks at a breaking ball from McGee, away, ball 1. But just even invoking the phrase, old aches and pains, with the All-Star game upon us, playing even as we speak at Dodger Stadium tonight. Fernando threw out the first pitch. The 1-0 pitch, hit and run, swung on and missed. The throw down to second is in time to get Briley Knight. Tanner swinging protectively, but Briley is thrown out easily once Briley failed to make contact. 2 down, and Tanner Smith with a count of 1-1. The All-Star game has had some outstanding moments. We talked a little bit about Dave Parker's exploits in the Kingdome in '79. But it was on this date, I believe at RFK Stadium in 1982, part of the All-Star weekend, the Cracker Jack Classic old-timers game. Luke Appling homered off of Warren Spahn. Breaking ball to Tanner Smith in there. Strike 3 called. 75-year-old Luke Appling in an old-timers game on this date in '82, 40 years ago. Homered off of 79-year-old Warren Spahn. Circled the bases, and Appling, who was a Hall of Famer, and his nickname was Old Aches and Pains, said, I had more time, limelight, spotlight, star time, television time for that game in which he homered off of Spahn in an old-timers game than he ever did throughout his Hall of Fame career. Luke Appling, Old Aches and Pains. Tanner Smith strikes out. The Knights send the minimum in the third. After 3, Corvallis 2, Cowlitz nothing on 1240 Joe Radio. Of the top of the fourth inning to Sam Canton, pulled back of first. Grabbed by Tanner Smith, who takes it to the bag himself. 1 away in the fourth. Aaron Parker to the plate. Parker grounded out in the first inning. Ian delivers, fastball high. Ian's been doing a good job sinking the ball, producing a lot of ground balls. Good start for Lawson thus far. 2-0 Knights in the fourth. The 1-0 pitch is outside, ball 2. Lawson walked the batter in the first. Gave up a base hit with 2 outs in the third, but has pitched a clean game, has a 2-0 lead in the fourth. The right-hander out of Century High School in Hillsboro, 3-0 for the Beavers this past spring. Misses outside, ball 3. 3-0. The MLB draft ended today. Oregon State's Ben Ferrer did not get drafted, and what Ryan Brown told me up at Walker Stadium at Lentz Park yesterday before the game, that he was expecting Ben to be back with the Beavers next spring. That's great news. It looks like that's going to happen. The 3-1 pitch taken down and away by Aaron Parker for ball 4. The second walk allowed by Ian Lawson. The Knights leading 2-0. That'll bring to the plate Brock Bozette. Brock grounded out in his first at-bat. Parker held on at first by Tanner Smith. Lawson delivers high and inside, ball 1. Ian and Ryan Stafford, the battery for Corvallis. Darby at short, Tyler Quinn at third. In the outfield, Briley Knight in left, Jonah Advincula in center, Brady Lavoie in right. A grounder to short. Darby goes to Lee for 1, on to first. Not in time, close, but Brock Bozette able to avert the double play ball on the fielder's choice, 6-4. 2 down, another ground ball produced by Lawson. And that will bring to the plate John Olson, who grounded to short in his first at-bat. 2 Knights former Beaver pitchers were drafted today. Jake Fennigs and DJ Carpenter, who both will have decisions to make with respect to whether to begin their professional odyssey or return. Olson takes down and away, ball 1. Former Knights in the draft, we talked about some of them yesterday. Brooks Lee ended up going 8th overall in the first round to Minnesota. What an outstanding player he was for the Knights here 3 summers ago. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. 2 outs, Aaron Parker forced at second. Brock Bozette, the runner at first, held on by Smith. 2-0 Knights in the fourth. Ian Lawson to the plate with Bozette going. The pitch is lifted high in the air to left. Briley Knight couldn't find it. Now he does and moves in to make the catch. Nice job by Briley. When the ball left the bat of John Olson, Briley knew that it was going to come his way eventually. And he lost it in the sun for a moment, but then found it coming down out of the path of the sun, makes the catch, and that's that for Cowlitz in the fourth. I will enumerate the former Knights in the draft when we return. We go to the bottom of the fourth. The Knights 2 and Cowlitz nothing on 1240 Joe Radio. Back at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, 2-0 Knights as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Xander Darby taking the first pitch outside, ball one. Xander struck out on his first at-bat. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. Xander Darby, Ryan Stafford, and Brady Lavoie. McGee working the fast break baseball, delivers a 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed in the count 1-2. Ryan Stafford hit by a pitch last inning, waiting his turn. The Knights with a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the fourth inning. McGee ready to go again. The 1-2 pitch is high, ball two, 2-2. Don't get me wrong, I love it when pitchers want to work quickly, and McGee is about as quick as Nathan Chin yesterday. 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed, strike three. That's quick work of Xander Darby. Very quick. One away, Ryan Stafford the batter. Brooks Lee went in the first round to the Twins yesterday. William Kempner in the third round to the Giants. William part of the Knights 3 summers ago as well. Nick Vogt, who helped the Knights win the championship last year out of UCSB. In the 7th round to San Diego, Brett Gillis out of Portland in the 9th round to Houston. The pitch to Stafford high and inside, ball one. Alex Williams out of Stanford in the 11th round, taken by Miami. A 2-hopper wide of third. Hovland to his left to field. He throws out Stafford. 2 down, and Brady Lavoie will come to the plate. Marcus Johnson, part of the Knights in 2019, in the 11th round to the Boston Red Sox. Michael Curiali from UCLA, and with the Knights in 2019 in the 12th round to St. Louis. And Matt Scott on the current club in the 20th round today, in the final round, to Texas. The first pitch missing to Brady Lavoie, who blasted a single to left and scored a run in the second. The 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled back. Lavoie hit the ball on the screws as part of the Knights' 2-run second. 2-0 Knights in the fourth. McGee back to the plate, delivers a strike. 1-2 the count to Brady. Timo Becerra on deck. We'll take a 2-minute in-between break and try to regroup. I may reconnect and do all things. Swung on and fouled at the plate. So let's plan on that, Garrett, and see if we can restore some two-way communication. I'll shut down everything here from my end, and we'll regroup and reset and reboot. In one of the films, I can't remember which, one of the Naked Gun films, was it? I believe so. Leslie Nielsen. Maybe it's a Mike Myers film. I don't know. The world's about to end. All he does is unplug the computer, and that keeps the world from ending. We'll try to reset here. The 1-2 pitch high and inside. Ball 2, 2-2. When in doubt, reboot, and we'll try it again. We had two-way communication earlier, but we've lost it. McGee's 2-2 breaking ball just missed. Ball 3, 3-2. Boy, Cade gets right after it. I like it. A man with a plan, a pitcher with a plan. He gets the ball back and ready to go again. The 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Down go the Knights quickly in the fourth. We'll take a 2-minute break. We'll try to reboot and regroup at the end of 4. The Knights 2 and Cowlitz nothing on 1240 Joe Radio.
In Oregon staycation this year, you'll find a great selection of warm weather shirts, sandals,
Okay,
hats,
I can
even
hear the
summer
commercials
suits
and I can
sport
hear
coats for
you,
those special
Garrett.
events. We
Can
have
you
it
hear
all at the
me?
Natty Dresser. From hats to shoes
Okay,
and everything in
excellent.
between.
I guess, I don't know
You'll
why,
find
but here we
everything
go.
the well-dressed
Okay,
man
good.
needs by brands
Yep.
you trust. Our services include suit rentals, alterations, and custom made-to-measure shirts. The Natty Dresser, purveyors of quality menswear, now open Monday through Saturday in the heart of historic downtown Albany. Dress well, be confident, find success.
1240 Joe Radio.
The first pitch of the top of the fifth inning, Nick Hovland hits a high pop fly on the infield. Second baseman Mason Lee calls and makes the catch. One pitch, one gone. Now the batter, Seth Sweetchick. First pitch from Ian Lawson missing. The 1-0 offering catches the outside corner. 1-1 the count. One out, nobody on. 2-0 Knights, top of the fifth. Lawson delivers the fastball down and away. Ian's jersey getting untucked a little bit. Coming out of the back, his back. Probably should try to get it tucked back in shortly. The 2-1 pitch popped up on the right side again. Second baseman Mason Lee, as Lawson gets himself tucked back in. Lee makes the catch. 2 down, and Ben Ziegler will come to the plate. Ben grounded to short in the third. We're in the fifth, 2-0 Knights. Both of the Knights' runs coming in the second inning in a well-pitched game by both Cade McGee for Cowlitz and Ian Lawson for the Corvallis Knights. Ian to the plate. Ziegler, a chopper up along first. I haven't heard a signal given. Lawson fields, steps on the bag. The inning is over. Ziegler never ran out of the box. Foul ball was not called, and that's that. And Ziegler staring into his own dugout and will not get any. Alan Embry doesn't pop out to argue the call, nor does anyone else. So Ziegler grounds out unassisted Ian Lawson. A lightning quick top of the fifth. We go to the bottom half. Still the Knights 2 and the Black Bears nothing on 1240 Joe Radio.
At Albin's Plumbing, we're boring. Hi, I'm Katie Albin, and I want everyone to know that at Albin's Plumbing, we're boring. Directional boring, to be exact. So if you need to run a pipe underground, under a driveway, or under a sidewalk, and you don't want to destroy your yard in the process, the boring people at Albin's Plumbing can help you with your directional boring. Just give us a call.
At Albin's Plumbing, plumbing's all we do. Call 754-8282. Albin's Plumbing.
The Corvallis Knights are champions, having won 5 straight West Coast Baseball League titles. And the team at Tax and Wealth Management in Corvallis are champions too. Does your business need help developing a winning program? With 46 years in business, they have what you need to develop and execute your game plan into a championship. See David Mendenhall, Bill Heck, or Robert Berry. Their team has the strategy you need for tax planning and saving for your financial future. Visit taxandwealthmanagement.com or call 541-753-4185. That's 753-4185. And get in the game.
Hey, veterans, Mid-Willamette Family VetNet and the Corvallis Elks invite you to a Lynn Benton Veterans Stand Down Thursday, July 21st from 10 until 2 at the Corvallis Elks Lodge. It's a resource fair aimed at providing services and supplies to veterans and their families. Learn about disability and Social Security benefits, employment services, housing and utility assistance.
No, I guess less than it was, we had about 20 seconds left, so about a minute 20 or 30 it takes. So we'll keep in mind if we have a similar problem.
1240 Joe Radio.
Bottom of the fifth inning, 2-0 Knights. Cade McGee to the plate to Timo Becerra and misses outside. Timo an RBI single in the second. Cade ready to go again. Delivers a one-hopper off the mitt of Brock Bozet into shallow left field. Base hit. That ball was smoked by Timo Becerra. It'll be a single for Timo. He's 2 for 2. And that'll bring to the plate Tyler Quinn. Ooh. I think that's a tough error. I will go ahead and write down E6 and scratch out base hit on my scorecard. It is the opinion of Bill James, the great sabermetrician, which we've talked about before, essentially the inventor of analytics, with due respect to Alan Roth. Good bunt by Tyler Quinn, fielded. Nice play by Cade McGee. He throws to first, and an out is called on Tyler Quinn. who appeared to have beaten the throw. And I kind of felt like a summer ball call. Brooke Knight threw his head back, and now he's kind of stroking his chin in contemplation. Contemplating whether to say anything, whether to get a little upset about he chooses the better part, I suppose, and just keeps stroking the chin and won't make an issue of what appeared to be a favorable call benefiting the Cowlitz Black Bears on a bang-bang play at first. A good play by Cade McGee, a good athlete. And now a throw down to second base, diving back safely, Timo Becerra, after Tyler Quinn, who had a sacrifice fly in the second for a run batted in, gets the bunt down. Outstanding play by McGee to get the out at first base, moving Becerra to second. Advincula taking ball 1-0. Now Advincula looks to bunt for a hit. If it stays fair, it'll be a hit, and it is a hit. The ball fielded by Nick Hovland, his throw to third, a good one, but not in time. And Jonah Advincula laying one down perfectly up along the third baseline on the play. Timo Becerra advances to third. A bunt single for Jonah Advincula. Mason Lee, the hitter. Mason has been aboard on an error and flied to center. 2-0 Knights in the bottom of the fifth with an opportunity to add to that advantage here. Bill James said of the statistic known as error, he said, quote, "It is without exception the only major statistic in sports which is a record of what an observer thinks should have been accomplished." The pitch to Mason Lee is high and inside, ball 1-0. James goes on. What an observer thinks should have been accomplished. It's a moral judgment, really, he wrote. The 1-0 pitch, tap foul at the plate, and the count 1-1. It's a moral judgment, really. It is uniquely a record of opinions. You have to do something right to get an error, namely be in the right place to begin with. It's an interesting take. I've never had a chance to visit with Bill or anyone else about that, but Bill James' opinion, he doesn't like the stat error. I don't know then if he thinks there shouldn't be a category known as errors. I don't know. 1 ball and 1 strike to Mason Lee. Runners at the corners, 1 out. There goes Advincula. A throw goes back to third, and getting picked off is Timo Becerra on a great play by Aaron Parker. Advincula took off to second, hoping to draw the throw, and Parker bluffed the throw to second and in continuous motion threw back to third. An excellent play as Scott Butler arrives tonight here at the ballpark. Bob Butler's son, good to see him, but what a play by Aaron Parker to backpick Timo Becerra for out number 2. Meanwhile, the 1-2 breaking ball to Mason Lee misses down. In the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well executed by Aaron Parker. Advincula, the runner at second now with 2 down. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mason Lee. 2-0 Knights in the fifth. Cade McGee out of the stretch. Delivers, swung on and missed for strike 3. Well, the Knights had a little something going. Runners at the corners and 1 out, but come up empty thanks to Aaron Parker and Cade McGee's fine work. McGee pitching and helping himself defensively, and his battery mate throwing out a runner at third. We're through 5. After 5, the Knights 2 and Cowlitz nothing on 1240 Joe Radio.
We set 'em up, you knock 'em down. Island Bowl, family entertainment for young and old. Clean and friendly, that's Highland Bowl. Bring your party, let the good times roll. Great food, good fun, that's Highland Bowl. We set 'em up, you knock 'em down. Highland Bowl.
North 9th Street, Corvallis.
For auto glass solutions, better call the glass man. Call 541-760-2277. Call the glass man.
Need your auto glass repaired or replaced? Need to recalibrate your advanced car safety system? Don't call that 800 number. Call the glass man.
For auto glass solutions, better call the glass man. Call 541-760-2277. Call the glass man.
There I was in the living room taking a nap when I heard a terrible sound. When are you going to start working on our deck and getting the house ready to paint? I'll do it, but not today. Well, if you won't do it, I'll do it myself. I know the guys at Philomath Rental show me what I need to do, and since they're open 7 days a week, I can go out there today. Uh-oh. Darn you, Philomath Rental.
Yeah. Philomath Rental, next to Landmark Realty, 1.5 miles west of the Sunset Shopping Center. For tools and equipment for home, farm, and business, check out Philomath Rental.
1240 Joe Radio.
Top of the sixth inning, 2-0 Knights. Ian Lawson to Austin Smith. Swung out and missed to open the sixth inning. Austin, the leadoff hitter for the Cowlitz Black Bears. 1 for 2 is grounded to third. Single to left. He strokes this one to right and deep, but playable. Brady Lavoie moves back a few steps and casually brings it in. Brady with a good beat on it right off the bat. Austin Smith, good contact, but an out. And coming to the plate will be Kalen Halverson out of Utah Valley. Big year, as we talked about, and getting the opportunity now to go play for UVU. He swings at the first pitch, a breaking ball fouled at the plate. Kalen has walked, struck out looking. No balls and 1 strike. Top of the sixth inning, 2-0 Knights before an outstanding crowd here. Welcoming the Knights back after a long trip away from home. Ian's breaking ball high. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Ian got stuck trying to get out of Edmonton. Speaking of the long trip. The 1-1 fastball swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. Ian was charged with taking some bags of baseballs, leaving Edmonton to fly down to Kelowna before busing to Wenatchee. The 1-2 pitch hit foul to Urchin Alley to our right. And I'm not exactly sure what was in the bag, but there was something included in the baseballs that caught the attention of airport security. Lawson wasn't trying to sneak any contraband through. I'm not sure what it was, but Ian was charged with the bag, so he was the one responsible for those ball bags. And while the rest of the team flew from Edmonton to Kelowna, he waited and waited and waited until everything was cleared up in the ball bag. The pitch is stroked to right, base hit. Kalen Halverson with a good inside-out swing the other way. A 1-hop single to right field, the second hit of the evening for the Cowlitz Black Bears. Sam Canton, the batter. Sam has bounced into a fielder's choice and grounded to first. 2-0 Knights in the sixth. And since Ian had pitched in Edmonton and wasn't going to be counted upon, Ian home from Edmonton, Bree, the Knights general manager, Bree Miller, arranged, rather impromptu, a flight for Ian from Edmonton to Portland, and on he came home and pitching here tonight. The 1-0 breaking ball down, ball 2, 2-0. And pitching very well. 3 hits for the Knights, just 2 for Cowlitz. In a well-pitched game, Cade McGee for the Cowlitz Black Bears, Ian Lawson for the Knights. Ian behind the count here, 2-0, delivers very high. Ryan Stafford throws down to first, getting back in safely, Kalen Halverson. The Knights will get some activity going in their bullpen. Neil Feist heads down along with our pregame show guest, Matt Ager. Feist will get loose. 3-0 the count. Lawson to the plate. Down the middle for a strike, and the count 3-1. Sam Canton on deck. Lawson comes set. Throws to first, a pretty good move. It almost looked as though Halverson got his cleat stuck in the turf and was not able to turn and rapidly get back, but the throw from Ian was a little high, giving Halverson time to recover and get back safely. Tough Sunfield for Briley out in left. He's shielding it with his glove. Another throw to first, and Halverson again dives back. A good action count for Cowlitz here, hence Ian's greater perspicacity when it comes to keeping an eye on the runner at first base. Halverson, a conservative lead, does not go. The 3-1 pitch is punched foul Waldo way. The ball lands on the railing at the top of the upper grandstand and down into the Jack Riley concourse. The count goes full to 3-2. We'll see now if Halverson might be running. 3-2 the count with 1 out. 2-0 Knights in the 6th. Kalen doesn't go. A ground ball to Mason Lee. Turns and goes to Xander Darby for 1, and that's all. And a nice job by Lee getting to the ball and then going to his Keystone partner, Xander Darby. In the end, Kalen Halverson did slide, but there are a lot of coaches who make it a rule to, if you're going into second and a ball hit to the right side, go in standing and make it difficult. Don't go into a slide. Go in standing up. Make it hard for the fielder who's trying to throw to the bag to have the proper path, a clear path to make the throw. And it was a late slide, to be sure, by Halverson. Lee did a good job to negotiate all of that and get the assist for 6. Aaron Parker takes ball 1, now swings at a change and doesn't get it. A back pick down to first by Stafford to Tanner Smith, not in time. Tanner did not quite receive the throw in the way that if he could have just slapped the tag down, the throw was a little bit behind him from Stafford, but certainly it beat the runner to first. The Knights would have had an out at first base. A great job by the catcher, Aaron Parker, who's now at the plate, to backpick Timo Becerra in the bottom of the 5th inning. We're in the 6th, 2-0 Knights. Canton at first, Aaron Parker at the plate. The 1-1 fastball on the corner. And the strike moves the count to 1-2. Aaron has grounded to third and walked. Probably Ian Lawson's final inning of work, and well, the outing has been outstanding for Ian, whom we hope to visit with tomorrow on our pregame show. The 1-2 pitch, a high pop foul heading toward the alley. This one lands in the alley and bounces high off the wall. The brick facade of Dixon Rec to our right. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Aaron Parker. Lawson peering into Ryan Stafford. Ryan, another young man I'm looking forward to visiting with soon. Lawson throws over to first, and again back to the bag goes Sam Canton. Lawson has been outstanding tonight. A guy trying to pitch his way into a more significant role for Rich Dorman and Mitch Canham and the Beavers next spring. The big right-hander out of Hillsborough set, kicks and delivers. Breaking ball high and inside to Aaron. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the right-hand hitting catcher, Aaron Parker. Aaron from Los Altos High School in Northern California, attending UCSB, played in 10 games for the Gauchos this past spring. The 2-2 breaking ball taken, just high. Ball 3, 3-2. Brock Bozette on deck. I was heartened to see that the band that he listed as a musical favorite, the Doobie Brothers. So this is a guy with an old soul, an old school taste in a classic of rock and roll. The runner goes, a 3-2 pitch, swung on and hit foul. Back of the plate and out of play. 3-2 the count. And I should have asked Aaron when I had the opportunity. He was visiting with Matt Ager. I interrupted the two of them and met Aaron before the game. Did not get to ask him how he came upon the Doobies. The 3-2 pitch, runner goes, ground ball to short. The only play is to first. Xander Darby up with it and throws Parker out, and the side is retired. Now that's a man with great taste in music and a good ball player. He does ground out here, and we are through 5.5. If that's the end of the line for Ian Lawson, what an outing for him. We hope to visit with Ian about it tomorrow. At the end of 5.5, it remains the Knights 2 and Cowlitz nothing on 1240 Joe Radio.
Looking for someone to service your Volkswagen? Independent Auto Works has been taking care of Volkswagen since 1970, and their group of mechanics has over 80 years of combined experience working on Volkswagens. And if you need just a part, whether your VW is old or new, air-cooled or water-cooled, Independent Auto Works can help. Give them a call or stop by. They're on 13th Street near the OSU campus in Corvallis. Independent Auto Works, the guys you can trust.
Your satisfaction is our success. Independent Auto Works.
Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, people in the Mid-Valley have been going to Corvallis Floor Covering. They thank their many friends and customers for your continued support and look forward to working with you on your next remodeling project. Browse through their large showroom with a beautiful selection of carpet, countertops, sheet vinyl, linoleum, tile, hard surface floors, and window coverings from all the popular brands. Corvallis Floor Covering, corner of 2nd and Van Buren downtown, or log on to corvallisfloorcovering.com. Shop local. Shop Corvallis Floor Covering.
Downward Dog across the OSU campus is serving up cold drinks and tasty food on their sunny patio. Burgers like the Hangover Helper or Double Trouble. If you prefer, substitute a house-made veggie patty and enjoy appetizers, wraps, salads, and sandwiches. And breakfast is served until 2. The food at Downward Dog is made fresh from scratch and locally sourced whenever possible. And they specialize in mouth-watering handcrafted cocktails and thirst-quenching local microbrews. So stop by the Downward Dog today.
Was
Open 7 days a week
pitching
from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. on 23rd and Monroe across from the OSU campus.
1240 Joe Radio.
Okay. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2-0 Knights. Bobby Merwin, our PA announcer, sharing a message between innings that I'm happy to share too regarding tonight's game sponsor, Corvallis Parks and Recreation, which did a great job of getting the word out. Part of the reason we have such a good crowd on this picturesque evening for baseball. July 19th, 2022, one of the finest evenings we've had all summer. Good ball game, 2-0 Knights. Briley Knight takes Cade McGee's first pitch. Cade has gone all the way, as has Ian Lawson through 6. Missing with the first offering, Cade comes back and misses to Briley for ball 2. Briley has flied to center and walked. He's received the lone free pass from Cade McGee, who's behind again to Briley 2-0. Cade's 2-0 pitch is high. Ball 3. 3-0. Briley Knight, Tanner Smith, and Xander Darby. Paul Blackburn giving me an update on the Major League All-Star game. Sounds like a delightful moment there at Dodger Stadium. Clayton Kershaw getting to start in his own ballpark for the National League in the Midsummer Classic. The 3-0 pitch, a strike to Briley in the count 3-1. Shohei Ohtani said, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to get a hit on the first pitch, and he did, but then Clayton picked him off. The 3-1 pitch to Briley Knight swung on and missed in the count 3-2. So good on Clayton as well as Shohei Ohtani with the showcase of Major League Baseball at Dodger Stadium. Briley Knight, a 3-2 pitch. He swings and strokes it to center. Base hit. Another good swing. Briley getting locked in offensively. A solid single to center to open the bottom of the 6th inning. Tanner Smith, who's been up twice and struck out twice, may be asked to lay one down here. We'll see. Just trying to get the feel back, the timing back. It takes a while. Tanner has not played in a competitive game since the Super Regional and didn't play really much at all in that with Gavin Logan, who was drafted yesterday. Gavin handling most of the catching chores down the stretch. Tanner swings and fouls one back, but this is Tanner Smith's first live action in a game since preparing for the regional and super regionals here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field in early June. A throw to first base and Briley Knight back. 2-0 Knights, bottom of the 6th inning. Cade McGee comes to the plate, not bunting, a ground ball slowly to third, go to second for one. Hovland to Seth Sweetchick for the force on Briley. And Tanner Smith aboard on the fielder's choice, 5-4. Brooke, who is a big fan of the short game, I'm a little surprised didn't bunt Tanner there with a guy trying to get the feel back, and sometimes laying a bunt down in the short game can help a hitter do that. And in this case, Tanner allowed to swing away and grounds into the fielder's choice. Now Xander Darby, the batter, has been up twice, struck out twice against McGee, and having a hard time picking the ball up, apparently, out of Cade's hands. He swings and doesn't get it. No balls and 1 strike. Cade working out of the stretch, glances over at Tanner Smith, held on by John Olson. The strike 1 pitch. Darby swings and fouls it back, and Xander, who has struck out twice already, is down in the count 0-2 here. Ryan Stafford on deck. A leadoff walk, or a single, I should say, for Briley Knight. Tanner Smith bouncing into a 5-4 fielder's choice. And now 0-2 to Darby, trying to solve the mystery of Cade McGee. Swings and hooks 1 foul down the right field side. It remains 0-2 the count. The mystery of Cade McGee, with apologies to Robert Service. Treat yourself someday if you haven't. I'm sure many of you have, but either read or listen to a rendering of the cremation of Sam McGee by the great Yukon poet Robert Service. A throw to first, and Tanner Smith steps back to the bag. My daughter Lydia once had a chance to play the part of Sam in a reading on a cruise in Alaska, the Inner Passage, in 2003. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was entertaining on the cruise ship, something put together and paid for by Oregon State for us back 19 summers ago, the Inner Passage. And Lydia recruited to play the part of Sam McGee in a theatrical performance of the great poem. Darby hits a 1-hopper to the second baseman's left. Sweet Chick goes to second for 1, on to first, not in time. Seth getting the force out at second on Tanner Smith, putting Xander Darby aboard. 2 away, and Ryan Stafford, the batter. Ryan has been hit by a pitch and grounded to third. That was not our first exposure back in 2003 with Alan Embry, the head coach, coming out. That may be the end of the line for Cade McGee. With Embry coming out to visit with Cade and will take the baseball from him. 882 appearances for Alan Embry. He knows a little thing or two about running a pitching staff. Cade McGee will come out, and it's not quite a New Mexico State moment, but McGee comes out to a pleasant smattering of applause here. One of the great moments I've seen in this ballpark ever was the young man for New Mexico State coming out to a standing ovation against Oregon State in the Corvallis Regional and called it the greatest moment of his life, to be cheered and saluted by the fans in the manner that he was. Cade McGee deserved kind of the same treatment, but it is baseball in the summer ball. Matt Ager with the fine distinction. We do have a pitching change. McGee pitched beautifully. Our kids grew up listening to yours truly and others reading Service and the great Yukon poetry. And so Lydia was more than happy to be recruited to help perform the part of Sam. Cade McGee is out. He pitched a good ball game. A new pitcher in will meet him back in 2-0 Knights in the 6th on 1240 Joe Radio.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation change? Hi, I'm former Oregon State athlete Tim Ewis, your Corvallis Edward Jones financial advisor. When we work together, we'll focus on what's important to you. We'll use an established process to create a personalized financial strategy backed by the advice, tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we'll partner to help your strategy stay on track. Contact me today, 541-758-8245. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Dave's Performance Hybrids is the Willamette Valley's Prius experts and your Toyota dealer alternative. Dave's is now offering hybrid battery warranty extension for every Prius. If your Prius has an original battery or was replaced somewhere else and has expired, invest in Dave's hybrid battery warranty extension before it fails and save 50% off the price of a 1 to 5 year warranty, including testing. Need an oil change? Get $20 off your next oil service at Dave's Performance Hybrids. Off I-5 and Highway 20 in Albany. Online at davesperformancehybrids.com.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your local Kubota dealer is Lynn Benton Tractor on Highway 99E in Tangent. See it at LynnBentonTractor.com.
Taste the incredible flavors of India at Evergreen Indian Restaurant. Enjoy delicious made-to-order Indian cuisine using traditional recipes.
Is this the last of the 30s, Garrett?
Including a variety of entrees and
Okay,
tandoori
thank you.
specials. Evergreen Indian Restaurant is open for takeout orders from 11:30 to 2:30 p.m. and open for dine-in and takeout from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. daily except Tuesdays. View the menu and order online at evergreenindianrestaurant.com on Southwest 3rd in downtown Corvallis and West 7th in Eugene. Evergreen Indian Restaurant.
1240 Joe Radio.
Right-hander Andrew Del Biagio out of the bullpen for Cowlitz with the Knights leading 2-0. Gets ahead of Ryan Stafford. No balls and 2 strikes with Xander Darby at first and 2 down. The 0-2 pitch gets away a little bit from Del Biagio over the head of everybody to the backstop. And down to second base goes Xander with a chance for the Knights now on the wild pitch to get on the board. For the third time. They lead it 2-0, 2 runs in the second. Ryan Stafford, 3 hits yesterday, looking for his first one today in his second game with the Knights. Hit by a pitch and scored a run in the second. Grounded out in his last at-bat. Hits a drive to left field here. Sam Canton, though, has it in his tracks. Moves back a few steps to make the catch. And the Knights are gone. Andrew Del Biagio out of Bellarmine Prep in San Jose, and competing for one of the great men I've ever known in the game at Linfield, Dan Spencer. Del Biagio gets the out, and the Knights are gone in the 6th. No runs, no hit, 1 hit and 1 left at the end of 6. Corvallis 2 and Cowlitz nothing on 1240 Joe Radio.
The Corvallis Knights are champions, having won 5 straight West Coast Baseball League titles. And the team at Tax and Wealth Management in Corvallis are champions too. Does your business need help developing a winning program? With 46 years in business, they have what you need to develop and execute your game plan into a championship. See David Mendenhall, Bill Heck, or Robert Berry. Their team has the strategy you need for tax planning and saving for your financial future. Visit taxandwealthmanagement.com or call 541-753-4185. That's 753-4185. And get in the game.
Planning an Oregon staycation this year? You'll find a great selection of warm weather shirts, sandals, hats, even summer suits and sport coats for those special events. We have it all at the Natty Dresser, from hats to shoes and everything in between. You'll find everything the well-dressed man needs by brands you trust. Our services include suit rentals, alterations, and custom made-to-measure shirts. The Natty Dresser, purveyors of quality menswear, now open Monday through Saturday in the heart of historic downtown Albany. Dress well, be confident, find success.
Hey veterans, Mid-Willamette Family VetNet and the Corvallis Elks invite you to a Lynn Benton Veterans Stand Down Thursday, July 21st from 10 until 2 at the Corvallis Elks Lodge. It's a resource fair aimed at providing services and supplies to veterans and their families. Learn about disability and Social Security benefits, employment services, housing and utility assistance, medical and dental resources, and more. Food and drinks will be served at the Lynn Benton Veterans Stand Down Thursday, July 21st from 10 until 2 at the Corvallis Elks Lodge, 1400 North 9th Street.
1240 Joe Radio.
Through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Knights 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. Cowlitz, no runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. Ian Lawson's evening is over, and it was a tremendous outing for the right-hander from Century High in Hillsboro and Oregon State. Going 6 scoreless, allowing 2 hits. He walked 2, and the right-hander pitching to contact, using his defense, had just 1 strikeout, but he was very good, and he gives way now to Neil Feist in the top of the 7th. Brock Bozette, 0 for 2 against Lawson, will be the first hitter to face Neil, who leads the Knights in appearances in the summer of 2022. Neil's first pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1 the count. Top of the 7th inning on this gorgeous night. Less breezy than usual, and the temperature beginning in the mid-80s. We're probably down in the high 70s now, but it feels just about perfect. The strike 1 pitch fouled off the sign, the McGrath family press box sign, the facade, and then down into the first few rows of seats back of home plate. Strike 2 on a bunt attempt by Brock Bozette. 0-2 the count to Brock. John Olson on deck, Nick Hovland to follow. Feist works out of the stretch with nobody on, delivers 0-2 and misses with the breaking ball. 1-2 the count. Feist making 14th appearance. 22 2/3, 25 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 5 walks, 19 strikeouts. Delivers a ground ball slowly wide of first. Feist has to get over. Tanner Smith fields and gets it to Feist just in time for the out. There was some question as to whether or not Neal had his foot firmly on the bag, and that's a question Alan Embry wants to bring up with the base umpire here. It was an odd-looking play. Tanner ranging wide to his right. Embry comes out to, perhaps I think he's not going to get the base umpire who just made the call out to overturn it, but the home plate umpire comes wandering up, so much so that it makes me think that the home plate umpire might overrule the base umpire here, almost like, hey, talk to me about it. Feist came over, and Embry says something about the play that gets the attention now of both umpires. Allen returns to the dugout on the first base side. I didn't like the looks of the play from the beginning and was fearful that we might get a call that wouldn't go the Knights' way, but the out does stay in the books, and Embry just kind of shakes his head and a dismissive wave out towards the two umpires who keep the out on a 3-1 play, Tanner Smith to Brock Bozad. John Olson, the batter, is grounded to short and flied to left. No longer dealing with the tough sun out in left. Pleasant conditions all the way around on this Tuesday night with the Knights coming back home after their 10-day trip. The Knights did a good job on the trip, going 6-4 and winning 2 series, back-to-back in Edmonton and Wenatchee. Feist comes back to Olson. The 1-0 pitch runs down and in. Ball 2. 2-0. Top of the 7th inning. Neal Feist on for Ian Lawson. The 2-0 pitch, a strike. The count 2-1 to John Olson. The only runs of the game coming in the 2nd inning. Neal ready, the 2-1 pitch, a line drive base hit to right field. Brady Lavoie playing it on a hop, and Olson runs through first base. Big John with a base hit to right, and Nick Hovland, who is grounded first and popped out. He's gone after first pitches twice and is 0 for 2, both against Ian Lawson. We'll see if he takes a bit more patient approach this time around. 2-0 Knights in the 7th. Just the 3rd hit for the Black Bears. The Knights with only 4. Feist delivers, and indeed, Hovland takes a strike. 0-1 the count. Olson hit .368 at Ventura College this past spring. Moving on up the road to Western Oregon University. A throw to first base. Back to the bag goes Olson. Hovland out of Bellevue College and on his way to Washington State. In fact, started at Bellevue and appeared in 11 games for the Cougs this past spring. Was 3 for 15. He swings and hits one foul to the right. The count 0-2 to Nick. Seth Sweetchick on deck. Neal Feist and Ron Stafford, the Knights battery. Tanner Smith at first, Mason Lee at second, Xander Darby at short, Tyler Quinn at third. Riley Knight in left, Jonah Advincula in center, and Brady Lavoie in right. The strike 2 pitch missing high and inside, ball 1, 1-2. Neal Feist picking up for Ian Lawson. Delivers a soft liner off the glove of Feist, charged by Lee, flips to second for the force on John Olson. Excellent job on the part of Mason Lee to stay with the ball, hit back up the middle. Neal Feist reached high using a 6'3" frame to deflect the ball slightly. It changed the angle, the trajectory for Lee charging the ball. Lee had to throw back behind himself to Xander Darby covering at second for the force on John Olson. So Hovland aboard on the fielder's choice, 1-4-6, 2 down. Seth Sweetchick, the batter. Some activity will begin in the Knights bullpen back of Feist. Neal's first pitch to Sweetchick in there for a strike, 0-1 the count. Seth has flied to right and popped to second, 2-0 Knights, top of the 7th inning. The strike one pitch, a tapper towards Tyler Quinn, kind of between hops. The Knights third baseman fields and throws to first. And Neal Feist picks up where Ian Lawson left off, producing a lot of contact, ground balls and outs. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Our 7th inning stretch presented by At Home Properties. At Home Properties is a service-oriented property management company committed to providing a personal, friendly experience to each of their customers. Take me out to the ball game. 7th inning stretch presented by At Home Properties. After 6.5, the Knights 2 and Cowlitz nothing on 1240 Joe Radio.
When you think of Albin's, you think plumbing. And when you think of plumbing, you think water. Hi, this is Katie Albin. Some plumbing projects don't have anything to do with water. At Albin's Plumbing, we also work with natural gas and propane lines. So if you need a gas line for home heating, cooking, or for a gas water heater, give us a call.
At Albin's Plumbing, plumbing's all we do. Call 754-8282. Albin's Plumbing. We set them up, you knock them down. Highland Bowl, family entertainment for young and old. Clean and friendly, that's Highland Bowl. Bring your party, let the good times roll. Great food, good fun, that's Highland Bowl. We set them up, you knock them down. Highland Bowl.
North 9th Street, Corvallis.
Thank you.
At Thai Express, they've learned that when you treat your taste buds right, great things happen. Come and experience traditional Thai recipes with a sprinkle of New World creativity, like pad Thai, a curry, fried chicken dumplings, or one of their delicious soups, all customized to your taste. Thai Express is in Corvallis on 9th Street, behind Little Caesars. They're open for dine-in or visit their drive-thru. Don't be shy. Give them a Thai. Thai Express, locally and veteran-owned. It's same, different.
1240 Joe Radio.
Andrew Del Biagio to the plate. Fastball line to left off the bat of Brady Lavoie. Sam Canton pulls it in. One away. Timo Becerra, the designated hitter, coming up. Timo has an RBI single back in the 2nd, aboard on an error in the 5th, but he hit the ball hard. Tough error. Bill James wouldn't have liked it. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Tyler Quinn on deck. 2-0 Knights, the only runs of the game coming in the 2nd inning. Del Biagio strike one pitch is in there. And Andrew ahead of the count, 0-2. Del Biagio went 2-4 for Coach Spencer in 40 1/3 innings up at Linfield this past spring. Interested in getting into sports management. The strike two pitch down and away, 1-2 the count. Out of an outstanding school in San Jose and Bellarmine Prep. I got to play there once as a member of a JV baseball team at Oak Grove High School in San Jose in the spring of '74. Ground ball to third, fielded by Hovland. Pulls Olson off the bag, but Olson makes the tag on Becerra going by. 2 away in the top of the 7th inning. Tyler Quinn, the hitter. Tyler has a sacrifice fly and a sacrifice. 2-0 Knights in the bottom of the 7th inning. The pitch on the way from Del Biagio, swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. I know it's easy, people tell me, to do searches on just about anything and everybody. I've tried to look up my coach from Oak Grove High School in San Jose, that JV team, Dave Gelati, who became the head coach at Santa Teresa when Santa Teresa opened the following spring. I was only down there for part of a school year. The strike one pitch Strike 2 pitch, a breaking ball, called strike 3 on a pitch that appeared to be well outside. I mean, well outside. Brooke Knight can't believe it. That pitch was 6 inches or more outside and is called a third strike on Quinn. Dave Gelati. It looked like Gigliotti, pronounced Gelati. If anybody anywhere ever know or played or know whatever became of Dave Gelati, I'd like to know. Big crowd tonight, 1,821, enjoying a pitcher's duel and a beautiful night for baseball. We go to the top of the 8th. It remains the Knights 2 and the Cowlitz Black Bears nothing on 1240 Joe Radio.
For auto glass solutions, better call the glass man. Call 541-760-2277. Call the glass man.
Need your auto glass repaired or replaced? Need to recalibrate your advanced car safety system? Don't call that 800 number. Call the glass man.
For auto glass solutions, better call the glass man. Call 541-760-2277. Call the glass man.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation change? Hi, I'm former Oregon State athlete Tim Ewis, your Corvallis Edward Jones financial advisor. When we work together, we'll focus on what's important to you. We'll use an established process to create a personalized financial strategy backed by the advice, tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we'll partner to help your strategy stay on track. Contact me today, 541-758-8245. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
I was there in the living room reading a book when I heard a terrible sound. When are you going to start planting those trees and getting the backyard ready for our daughter's wedding? I'll do it, but not today. I know you don't want me to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. I know the guys at Philomath Rental, they'll show me what to do. And since they're open 7 days a week, I can go out there today. Uh-oh. Darn you, Philomath Rental.
Philomath Rental, next to Landmark Realty, 1.5 miles west of the Sunset Shopping Center. For tools and equipment for home, farm, and business. Check out Philomath Rental.
1240 Joe Radio.
The first pitch of the top of the 8th inning, a 2-hopper to the right of Knight second baseman Mason Lee, who gets to the ball, started to set to throw, and decided against it and holds on to the ball. It's an infield single for Ben Ziegler on the first pitch of the top of the 8th inning. Weiss now goes to work on Austin Smith, who slices one down the left field line foul into the corner, out of the reach of Briley Knight. No balls and a strike to Austin, who has made good contact. He's grounded to third, singled to left, and flied to right. Has swung the bat well. We'll come back and try it again. A leadoff infield single for Ben Ziegler. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Knights. Now no runs, 4 hits for Cowlitz. In a well-pitched ball game, and we have moved quickly into the 8th inning. Game 1 of this 3-game set. Game 2 tomorrow night, 6:35 on Thursday. Strike 1 pitch, bunted foul towards the Knights dugout. 0-2 the count. Remember, Friday night with the Portland Pickles in town, Corvallis Knights cap giveaway night. Our thanks tonight for this big crowd of 1,821 to the presenting sponsor, Corvallis Parks and Rec. 0-2 the count to Austin Smith. The runner goes, the pitch is high, the throw down to second, caught by Xander Darby, and he applies the tag while falling down on the by Xander Darby to catch it, and while falling down, applying the tag. A good quick transfer, too, by Ryan Stafford, but really the tough work was done by Darby, just to catch it and apply the tag while falling to the turf. 1-2, meanwhile, to Austin Smith. 1 out, nobody on in the 8th. 2-0 Knights. Neal Reddy delivers a comebacker over the glove of Feist, and then Xander Darby kind of kicks the ball to the right towards the hole at second. No play for Darby. Xander with a long way to range to his left. And Brooks Hatch is considering the scoring decision here. He gave a tough error earlier, and the fact that we don't see hit or error put up on the board yet tells me that Brooks is contemplating this one as well. Bill James again saying that the error is the stat unique in all sports, a record of the opinion of a person who thinks that something should have happened. Feist delivers, fastball for a strike, and Brooks Hatch thinks that should have been a play made by Xander Darby. So it goes as an E on Xander, E6. Kalen Halverson swings at a strike one pitch and taps it foul up along third. 0-2 to Kalen, who's walked, struck out, and singled to right field. Corvallis Parks and Rec operates Osborne Aquatic Center, the Majestic Theater, and the Corvallis Community Center, along with 2,000 acres of parks, natural areas, sports fields, park shelters, and more. Strike two pitch, waved at and missed. Strike three, and down goes Halverson. Tried to hold up, but is rung up by the home plate arbiter. 2 down, and Sam Canton, the batter. I'm not sure how much power Corvallis Parks and Rec has when it comes to mosquitoes, as Jerry Jones would say, a mosquito. But they're out tonight on this warm, pleasant evening. I've just slapped away a couple. They've gotten me, though, too, so I'm 2 for 4, I believe, thus far in the mosquito battle. But the Corvallis Park's probably full of them, but worth getting out tonight. What a gorgeous evening. The first pitch from right-hander Neil Feist to Sam Canton, in there knee-high for a strike. Sam is 0 for 3. 2-0 Knights, top of the 8th inning. Austin Smith, the runner at first, held on by Tanner Smith. The strike one pitch on the outside corner from Neal, and he's ahead, 0-2 the count. One other note on our presenting sponsor tonight, Corvallis Parks and Rec. Be sure to join everybody at Avery Park, beautiful park in South Corvallis, coming up Thursday, about a month from now, Thursday, August 18th, for a free movie event night in the park. Pitch is hit in the air to right field. Brady Lavoie is right there. Sam Canton, good contact, but isn't out, and Neil Feist puts up another 0. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Still, the Knights 2 and Cowlitz nothing on 1240 Joe Radio.
Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, people in the Mid-Valley have been going to Corvallis Floor Covering. They thank their many friends and customers for your continued support and look forward to working with you on your next remodeling project. Browse through their large showroom with a beautiful selection of carpet, countertops, sheet vinyl, linoleum, tile, hard surface floors, and window coverings from all the popular brands. Corvallis Floor Covering, corner of 2nd and Van Buren downtown, or log on to corvallisfloorcovering.com. Shop local. Shop Corvallis Floor Covering.
The versatile Kubota B-Series is a do-it-all tractor, part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. You can run powerful attachments that can be easily switched out. The Kubota B-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your local Kubota dealer is Lynn Benton Tractor on Highway 99E in Tangent. See it at lynnbentontractor.com.
Taste the incredible flavors of India at Evergreen Indian Restaurant. Enjoy delicious made-to-order Indian cuisine using traditional recipes and fresh ingredients, including a variety of entrees and tandoori specials. Evergreen Indian Restaurant is open for takeout orders from 11:30 to 2:30 p.m. and open for dine-in and takeout from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. daily except Tuesdays. View the menu and order online at evergreenindianrestaurant.com on Southwest 3rd in downtown Corvallis and West 7th in Eugene. Evergreen Indian Restaurant.
1240 Joe Radio.
Jonah Advincula, Mason Lee, Briley Knight against Andrew Del Biagio in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Knights leading 2-0. The only runs of the game coming in the second. Del Biagio delivers. Jonah looks at a first pitch strike. 0-1 to the Knights leadoff hitter, who has grounded to second, flied to left, and had a bunt single. Chase Reynolds trots down to the Corvallis Knights bullpen. He was outstanding in Wenatchee on Sunday. The strike one pitch just outside from Del Biagio. 1 ball and 1 strike. Del Biagio making his 11th appearance. 21 innings come in this outing. 20 hits, 10 walks, 18 strikeouts, an ERA of 3.42. Jonah swings at the 1-1 pitch, a high fly ball into medium right center field. Ben Ziegler is right there to put it away. The pitchers for both clubs tonight have done a great job using their defense, making quality pitches and producing outs at a consistent level. Mason Lee, the batter. Mason is 0 for 3, aboard on an error in the first. 2-0 Knights in the bottom of the 8th inning, and what has stayed one of the more pleasant evenings we've had all summer. The first pitch missing down and away. The temperature beginning to drop just a bit. I can feel the breeze coming up just a tad, but still warm, pleasant shorts, T-shirt weather here. The 1-0 pitch, a check swing, but Lee goes around, and the count 1-1. The first of 3 with Cowlitz. The Knights getting a long stretch of home cooking coming. This one hit foul into Urchin Alley down to our right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The sound you heard was not that of the baseball landing in the metal bleachers, but a cell phone being dropped onto the bleachers. And there are many in the fans' hands that could be dropped just looking around the ballpark. There's a set of fans right below me. They're working on ice cream now. Good for them. I'm happy for them. But at one point, there were 5 young fans all looking at their cell phones at the same time. The 2-2 pitch on the way. A 2-hopper to short. Brock Bozette fields, throws high, and he missed his first base target, John Olson, who misses the tag on Mason Lee going by. An error, and Mason Lee is aboard. The second error of the night on Bozette. In both errors on Bozette on throws. Briley Knight, the batter. We'll see if the Knights can take advantage of the generosity. The third error of the evening in what has been, for the most part, a very clean game, but there are 4 errors up on the board. It sort of belies the taut nature of this. 2-0 Knights in the 8th. That's a high number that doesn't quite seem to be commensurate with the score. Briley takes high. He's flied to center, walked, and singled to center. Mason Lee, a threat to run, had a stolen base in the first. Briley whacks one towards left center field. A diving catch made by Ben Ziegler in left center to catch the sinking line drive and prevent Briley Knight from getting a second hit. If he doesn't catch it, that's going to be big trouble for Ziegler. But he lays out. University of Hawaii bound with a good grab on another nice swing for Briley Knight. 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. Tanner Smith, the batter. Tanner has struck out twice and bounced into a force play. Andrew Del Biagio comes set. Mason is almost certainly going to look to run again. With 2 down, he takes a breaking ball, does Tanner Smith for a strike. 0-1 the count. Lee picked up his 13th stolen base in 14 attempts back in the first inning. Tanner takes strike 2. 0-2 the count. Xander Darby, the on-deck hitter. Parker, Brock Bozette, and John Olson, the scheduled hitters for Cowlitz. Andrew Del Biagio set. The right-hander out of Bellarmine Prep delivers an 0-2 breaking ball down and away, backhanded by Aaron Parker. Due to health reasons, my mom and dad both, we moved to be closer to family from Cottage Grove, Oregon, back to San Jose, where my uncle was living, and my dad was able to work for him for about 9 months. And I got to go to Oak Grove High School and had a tremendous experience there. Breaking ball in there, strike 3 called, and a memorable trip to play Bellarmine Prep on the campus of Bellarmine. Andrew Del Biagio delivers a breaking ball, strike 3 called. The inning is over. We go to the 9th. No runs, a hit, an error, 1 left. After 8, the Knights 2 and Cowlitz nothing on 1240 Joe Radio.
The Corvallis Knights are champions, having won 5 straight West Coast Baseball League titles. And the team at Tax and Wealth Management in Corvallis are champions too. Does your business need help developing a winning program? With 46 years in business, they have what you need to develop and execute your game plan into a championship. See David Mendenhall, Bill Heck, or Robert Berry. Their team has the strategy you need for tax planning and saving for your financial future. Visit taxandwealthmanagement.com or call 541-753-4185. That's 753-4185 and get in the game.
Planning an Oregon staycation this year? You'll find a great selection of warm weather shirts, sandals, hats, even Suits and sport coats for those special events. We have it all at the Natty Dresser. From hats to shoes and everything in between. You'll find everything the well-dressed man needs by brands you trust. Our services include suit rentals, alterations, and custom made-to-measure shirts. The Natty Dresser, purveyors of quality menswear. Now open Monday through Saturday in the heart of historic
And the Corvallis Elks invite you to It's a Resource Fair aimed at housing and utility assistance. Medical on July 21st from 10 and
Corvallis, the Knights leading the Cowlitz Black Bears. A beautifully pitched ball game by both teams. And now Nathan DeSchreiber gets a chance to get a save and complete the theme of a well-pitched ball game. And Nathan, this is an important outing for Nathan, for the Knights, for Nathan's role coming down the stretch. He's making his 10th appearance. He's worked 17 innings, has allowed 9 hits. Only 3 earned runs in the 17 innings. 14 strikeouts. 10 walks, and that's what has been a little bit of a problem for Nathan. So that's why I consider this an important outing for the right-hander out of Bainbridge Island and Gonzaga. DeSchreiber, an important contributor to the Knights' 2021 championship, and wants to have that same kind of impact coming down the stretch. And so he's being entrusted to try to bring home a game that has been beautifully pitched by Ian Lawson and Neil Feist, and hopes to pound the zone, not give in. It's a tight ball game, obviously, 2-0 in the 9th. And Nathan DeSchreiber goes to work against Aaron Parker. Aaron will be followed by Brock Bozette and then John Olson. DeSchreiber's first pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Parker has grounded to third, walked and grounded to short. Nathan's numbers have been good, save for that free base category. He comes back and hits the knees again. Pretty generous zone here on the first 2 pitches, and Aaron Parker in a hole, and the third base coach turning his back and walking away from the fray further down the line out of the box. The 0-2 pitch on the way, 58-footer, speared by Ryan Stafford. 1-2 the count. DeSchreiber and Stafford the battery. Tanner Smith at first, Mason Lee at second, Xander Darby at short, Tyler Quinn at third, Briley Knight in left, Jonah Advincula in center, Brady Lavoie in right. Breaking ball misses to Aaron. Ball 2, 2-2. DeSchreiber got ahead 0-2. Now 2-2 on Aaron Parker, leading things off in the top of the 9th. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3. Excellent work by Nathan DeSchreiber, but Parker walks away, I think kind of saying, what am I supposed to do when I'm down in the count on pitches that he felt were both out of the zone? That's the sense I got from Aaron walking back, muttering into the dugout that he was he had 2 strikes against him before he really had a chance, and he felt both pitches were out of the zone. Good fastball here from DeSchreiber. Bozette fights it off and hits it foul to the right and out of play. Brock is 0 for 3. 2-0 Knights, top of the 9th inning. DeSchreiber's strike 1 pitch down and away. 1-1 the count to Brock Bozette. John Olson on deck. 2 runs, 4 hits, an error for the Knights. No runs, 4 hits, 3 errors for Cowlitz. DeSchreiber's 1-1 pitch, sliced down the right field line, a fair ball, one-handed by Brady Lavoie. Throws a strike back into Mason Lee, holding Brock Bozette to a long single. John Olson comes to the plate representing the tying run. Ed Nag taking a little bit of a stroll in front of the Corvallis Knights dugout and giving some defensive instructions to both the infielders and the outfielders. Ed trying to get the attention of Jonah Advincula out in right center field. Brock Bozette to the plate, and the first pitch goes off of Ryan Stafford in the mitt to the backstop. I'm going to go pass ball, although the pitch went off of Ryan's mitt a little bit high. He had a pass ball, did Ryan, yesterday in Portland, and that one brought him up out of his crouch, but probably should have been caught. 1-0 now to John Olson, with the Knights leading 2-0 in the 9th. The 1-0 pitch popped foul to the right into the upper grandstand. The ball lands in the metal stands and bounds over into Urchin Alley. And that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike in the top of the 9th inning. The double play obviously no longer in order with Bozette at second. DeSchreiber trying to keep the shutout intact. The right-hander delivers. Fastball in there for a strike, and the count 1-2. John Olson at the plate. Nick Hovland on deck. DeSchreiber leaning in, getting the sign from Ryan Stafford. And the right-hander's 1-2 pitch just off the plate. Ball 2, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes in the top of the 9th inning. DeSchreiber comes set, delivers a 2-2 pitch, very high. Ball 3, 3-2. Nick Hovland, the on-deck hitter. My guess is somebody's probably throwing in the Knights' pen, and in fact, I can see a game of catch going on. Don't know who it is, but DeSchreiber hopes not to need help. A ground ball to the hole at short, backhanded by Darby. Xander, the long throw across, is in time for out number 2. On the play, Brock Bozette holds at second. DeSchreiber and the Knights are an out away. Nathan looking for the save. It would be his first of the summer, and he's looking forward to try to get it. We'll see a pinch hitter now for the Cowlitz Black Bears. Alec Arnone, the pinch hitter out of San Clemente, California, San Diego Christian. Arnone graduated from Capistrano Valley Christian High School, now at San Diego Christian College, as he stands in with 2 down, a man at second. First pitch fastball from DeSchreiber, a strike. 0-1 the count. Arnone in his 3rd stop collegiately. Began at UC Riverside, then to CSUN, Cal State Northridge, now at San Diego Christian. DeSchreiber strike 1 pitch. Hit foul over my head to my left and into the bicycle area. Youngsters giving chase from the left and right. A diving effort made. The Knights are down to needing just 1 strike to put it away in this big crowd of 1,821 getting into it. With Brock Bozette at second, Alec Arnone, the pinch hitter, at the plate. 0-2 the count. DeSchreiber delivers just outside. Ball 1, 1-2. Ryan Stafford trying to pull that one back over the plate. But Arnone still up there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-0 Knights. Top of the 9th inning. Nathan DeSchreiber following Feist and Lawson, trying to complete a gem. Delivers. Fastball. Hit foul to the right and out of play. Nathan doing an excellent job to pound the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 down. Top of the 9th inning. The only runs of the game coming back in the 2nd. DeSchreiber trying to finish it right here. The big right-hander from Bainbridge Island delivers a check swing taken high. Ball 2, 2-2. Seth Sweetchick on deck. The tying run at the plate represented by Arnone. DeSchreiber will try it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with the Knights leading 2-0. Nathan set. The right-hander delivers in the turf. Ball 3, 3-2. The count was 0-2. DeSchreiber hopes that he doesn't lose the pinch hitter Arnone here in the 9th. 3-2 the count. Nathan ready, delivers a chopper wide of third. Quinn to his left, up with it, throws across to first for the out. The inning is over. The ball game is over. Game 1 is in the books. A magnificently pitched ball game by both teams, particularly the Knights, who win it by a score of 2-0. No runs on 5 hits in the ball game for the Cowlitz Black Bears. And the Knights get a tremendous series opening win to improve to 7-4 in second half play. 2 runs, 4 hits, and an error for the Knights. No runs, 5 hits, 3 errors for Cowlitz. Ian Lawson the win. Nathan DeShriver the save. Ian Lawson is our Washington Park Advisors Player of the Game on Corvallis Parks and Recs night here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Knights won it 2-0, getting their only 2 runs in the second, an RBI single for Timo Becerra, and a sacrifice fly for Tyler Quinn. One of the more efficient ball games of this 2022 season, and it goes to the Knights in the opener. Final score, Corvallis 2, and the Cowlitz Black Bears nothing. For Garrett Dworshak back in our studio, this is Mike Parker from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, thanking you for joining us, and hope that you'll do so again tomorrow for another game between the Knights and the Black Bears. 6:25 pregame, 6:35 first pitch. The Knights win it 2-0. See you tomorrow night back here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field and on 1240 Joe Radio.